Power Season 3. I am stupid excited to talk about this show. For anybody that doesn't know, Power is one of my favorite shows. I just saw the season finale for Season 3 last night, and I have to talk about it on my show today. Full disclosure, this will be full spoilers. So if you have not seen Season 3 of Power, if you have not seen the season finale, I suggest that you look away, just run away, go watch Power, and then come back and talk to me about it. But for now, we're just gonna go full spoilers. So when we start Season 3 though, I mean, everybody's already kind of in a different place. I mean, Sean is dead, Kanan kills him, he and Ghost got into a fight, Ghost ends up winning the fight, and he leaves Kanan for dead, and he tells everybody he killed Kanan, but Kanan's one tough son of a bitch. When we catch up with Kanan in Season 3, Kanan is recovering with a cousin of his, this corrupt cop named Jukebox. Eventually, Kanan gets back up to speed, and he shows back up in Ghost's life, unsuspecting by Ghost and Ty. Like, they have no idea that Kanan is alive and well, but Dre does. Dre, who is kind of like Ghost's protege at the club. That scene where Dre shows up at home and Kanan has his daughter, I'm just kind of like, oh, Kanan, you cold bastard. That's what I like about having 50 Cent as Kanan on this show, is that he's such a cold-blooded, ruthless bastard, and he gives you somebody that you have to hate. He gives you somebody that you root against. You're just like, yeah, I wouldn't mind if you died, but I actually kind of want you around so I can hate you. He's so dangerous, you never know what he's gonna do. He shows back up, and he immediately wants to keep tabs on Ghost, so he uses Dre and his influence over his daughter to keep tabs on Ghost and to follow Ghost and to keep track of him and his meetings and his business and shit. He completely flips it in the season finale when they finally reenact this plan of getting Ghost's son. Like, he basically manipulates Ghost's son and becomes a friend to him, and then basically they're holding him hostage at the end of the season with Jukebox. But we also see a hint of humanity. Does Kanan actually give a shit about this kid? He looks a little bit hesitant when it comes to Jukebox saying, hey, you gotta hold the kid for ransom and then kill him, and Kanan's like, yeah, okay, sure. Start off the season with Ghost living with Angie. That creates a really difficult dynamic, and that kind of leads to Tyreek going off and doing his thing. He feels like his dad and his parents lie to him. They don't tell him the truth about their past or about certain things. He wants to know what happened to Sean. They just kind of tell him, hey, it was a dangerous neighborhood. The kid's like, yeah, okay, that's bullshit. Ghost in this season is probably stretched as thin as he's been in any season. I mean, he has the club. He's trying to become a legitimate businessman. He's working on this business deal with this woman, Karen, to give him like extra connections in all of his clubs and expand his business, expand his empire or whatever. He has that to worry about. He has his relationship with Angie, who also reveals, like in the first or second episode, she reveals to Ghost that Lobos, who Ghost tried to have killed last season, is still alive. Turns out Lobos survived, and now he's like under federal custody, and Lobos sets Tommy up to try to have Ghost killed. You know the tagline for the season, it said Ghost must die or whatever. But the entire time they build up this arc for Tommy, and it's like, Tommy can't kill Ghost. He just can't bring himself to. He had several moments early in the season where he's like, yeah, I have every opportunity to kill this motherfucker. I have a gun. I have him in my sights. He would never suspect it. Holly, it basically turns out that she's pregnant. She finds out she's pregnant, so she becomes even more desperate to kill Ghost, because she's like, you gotta look out for me. And Tasha finds out too, but the problem is Holly doesn't tell him. She doesn't ever tell him that she's pregnant. And it's like, it might actually sway Tommy to be on your side. If you tell him that you're pregnant, you have his kid. Instead, no, she doesn't tell him, and then she tries to set Ghost up to be killed, and Tommy ends up killing her. Look, I can't speak for everyone else, but I hate Holly. I don't like Holly. I have never liked her. I've never liked her character. I was cheering like a motherfucker when Holly died. Like, and the bitch is dead, 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 and the bitch is dead. I couldn't wait for Holly to die. I really don't like her. I don't like Holly. I just don't. Tommy and Ghost is kind of weird. They're like at opposite ends, but they're just like slowly pushed back together over the course of the season. At first they work together to hide Holly's body, then they work together because they have to go kill Lobos. They finally kill Lobos, but then it turns out that Milan, this Russian, I can't remember what he is, but if you watch the previous seasons, you kind of know who he is. He's this like cannibal gangster dude who was serving as Ghost security at the club, but secretly he was really just watching him and making it easy to infiltrate his life and find out everything about him. Now he wants Tommy and Ghost to like work for him and like replace some of the business that he lost. And Milan is different from Kanan. He's like really smart, he's really methodical, also has a lot of pull, and he knows everything about their life. As soon as he gets them under his thumb, Ghost is immediately tries to work with Tommy. He's like, yeah, I gotta get this dude out. That's why Tommy's arc is so fascinating for this season. After Holly's death, he's just so unpredictable. Like, and Tommy got them crazy white boy eyes. Like, he got them Certain times you just feel like, does he have anything left to lose? Can't trust Ghost, he's alone, and Milan, it is clear, is trying to be the devil on his shoulder, recruiting his ass, right? Heard several times in the last few episodes where I'm just kind of like, is Tommy on Milan's side or is Tommy still on Ghost's side? The season finale, yeah, he's still on Ghost's side. He and Ghost come up with this big plan. They use the deal that Ghost is trying to sign with, what's-her-face, Karen at the club. They use that deal to lure Milan and his men in because Milan wants to kill Ghost right after the deal is signed so that he can use that deal to continue his drug business or whatever. But no, they get the drop on him. Dre and the rest of the crew, they get the drop on all of his men and they end up killing Milan. And I'm just like, yeah, that's so much else that I'm not mentioning. Like the fact that when Angie and Ghost break up, she goes back to start fucking with Greg. Greg the entire time, he's just hell-bent on proving that Ghost is James, that James St. Patrick is Ghost, and he wants to bring down Ghost, Angela, Tommy, all of them. He uses Ruiz to kind of record the conversations between him and Tommy and Milan. He's really after Ghost. That's what he wants. In the season finale, he comes up to Ghost, he threatens him, he's like, hey man, you need to roll on Angela, there's no proof that you're tied to any of this, you have the most to lose here. So then when Lobos' mole, which was a big point of contention in the season, when Lobos' mole is revealed, and he like reveals himself to Greg, the entire time my heart was pounding because I was like, he's gonna kill Greg, isn't he? God damn it. He did, he killed Greg, he shot him! And then he like planted the burner cell on him so that everybody would think that Greg was the mole. It's kind of like, holy shit. But that's not the only holy shit moment from this finale. We have Ghost going to jail at the end. Yeah, that's right. Angie, she like goes back to Greg's apartment because she's like, oh, Greg would never leave his window unlocked or whatever. So she goes back to the apartment. She finds out that Ghost's fingerprints are on the window. Early in the episode, Ghost went to Greg's apartment to try to find that recording. You know, he was trying to look out for him and Angie. But Angie doesn't know that, and all she has to go on is that Ghost had his fingerprints on the windowsill. It's kind of funny because at the end, when she walks up to him in the club, it's kind of like the first time they met. Remember the first time they reunited when he was opening his club and she came up and it like changed his life and that made him want to get out of this life and stop being a drug dealer or whatever? Now it's like he's out, he's free, he's like, oh, I've got everything. Like, the club business is great. I've got everything I want. And she comes up to take it all away from him. Him being arrested and marched out was just kind of like, holy shit, wow. Going into next season, everything is so different now. Tasha and Ghost's son is being held hostage by Kanan and Jukebox. Ghost is in jail now. Tommy and him killed Milan, but Tommy is still running drugs out of Ghost's club. And Angie has no idea who the real mole inside the FBI is because he covered his tracks again. So much good shit to wait for, and I can't believe I gotta wait a fucking year to see this shit. Power Season 3, man, it just took it to another level. It has everything that you want from a show. It's just addicting drama, it's drugs, it's got the sex, and it's got Lala. That's another unanswered question from this season. What the hell happened to Lala? I mean, Tommy, it's implied, showed up at her store to fuck with her, and then she, like, disappears, and Tasha's calling her. I'm like, please don't get rid of Lala's fine ass. Please. Oh, it was so great having Lala on the show. I hope they didn't get rid of Lala, because, I mean, look at all that. Look at that. That is one slice of... yeah. I'm just so excited for next season because there's just so many different things. Now Ghost, as smart as he is, he kind of just fucks everything up and now he's in jail because he slipped on the window and left his fingerprints there. So how is that going to work out? Is he going to be at rock bottom? How is he and Tasha going to deal with the fact that their son is being held by Kanan? Is Kanan going to become like the big villain this season again? Because he was kind of like a secondary villain to Milan after like the halfway point or whatever. Like, are they going to find that mole for Lobos? Are we going to find out what happened to Keisha? There's just so much that's up in the air right now. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for Season 4. That is my recap slash review slash ramble about Power Season 3. If you're as excited as me, comment below. Let me know what you thought about this season and specifically about the season finale. I tried to touch on as many of it as I could, but I probably left out a bunch of shit. It's just the way it is. Subscribe to the show. Let me know what you think. And as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.